Yeah, obviously. I just couldn't stay.
Now I'm assuming all this is
Keen to get home.
right. So we'll reconvene the meeting, and thank you to staff who've spent the. Okay, so we'll reconvene the meeting. Thank you to staff who've spent the last hour or so crunching numbers to come up with a final rates increase figure, taking into account all of the amendments and changes that we've been working on in the previous part of the meeting. So, Carol, did you want to let us know what you've come up with?
5.41 was our draft figure, and where we've ended up is at 5.46. So thank you for giving us the time to go away and confirm that. And the most important thing we've had to do is work out the decimals against the general rates. So the general rates that you had in your pack have changed, and the new figures are up on the screen up here that the team have got, so under point B. So those are all slightly increased figures from what were there previously.
Okay, that's great, thank you. So, yeah, thank you very much indeed for going away and confirming that for us. So that now means that we can move to pass more of these resolutions. So the first of which is, I'll put clauses 3 to 7 together. That Council adopts attachments C to G as amended by the meeting. I'm happy to move that. Do I have a seconder? Tim? Or Yanni?
In terms of the capital program, if it's possible to have our votes recorded against certain elements that were raised. Like, I've asked if my vote can be recorded against the additional expenditure for Hagley Oval.
So can we please note that Yanni Johansson's vote is recorded against the additional expenditure for the Hagley Oval?
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so with that exception,
and just one other process question.
Yep.
In the draft capital program, we got a number of the projects that are listed by ward are in the wrong wards. So I just want to make sure that that will be cleaned up prior to it being released.
Perhaps if any changes or errors are sent through to us, then we can obviously fix them. So if you perhaps channel those via Adia.
I've done that already. Do you want me to go through it myself? Okay.
all right, so if you can work with staff to make sure those things are tidied up, that would be great. So noting councillors Johansson and Swiggs, votes be recorded against the capital expenditure of Hagley Oval. Sure. That's fine. Thank you.
Just one other final process question is, are we going to get a letter from, is there any letter from Audit New Zealand that we should be aware of?
For the plan, we don't have any letters from Audit New Zealand, but when we come to do the LTP, we have quite a lot of scrutiny by Audit New Zealand, and they will be providing formal letters for that.
I understood that there was some discussion or treatment of the crossing car park in accounting and how that would be handled through our annual plan.
That's totally unrelated to the annual plan. That's a separate piece of work that they're doing. Yep.
Great, thank you. Glenn.
Thank you. Just over our rates formulation, I know we had that a few years ago, which actually Audit New Zealand missed, but and another agency, but you know, just double checking we're all set there. No, yes. This is the actual formula which we missed a few years. We had to have a special piece of legislation to.
That wasn't a special over here. That wasn't a special formula. That was how we were presenting our rates.
Yes.
And we fixed that.
Yeah. Okay. Just being.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so these clauses have been moved by me, seconded by Tim. All in favour? Aye. Against? That's carried. Thank you. and just noting those votes against there. Okay, so now if we move to item 8, the Council adopts the 2017-18 annual plan, comprising the draft 2017-18 annual plan, the Mayor's recommendations, the changes set out in attachments C to G, noting the amendment to the general rates decimal charge. So I again am happy to move that. Dave East will second. All in favour? Against? That's carried. And then items 9 to 12 I'll move together. So I'm happy to move those. Pauline Cotter is happy to second. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. And then items 13 to 16, that the Council resolves to set rates for 2017-18 financial year as set out in items 13 to 16 of the staff recommendations. So I'm happy to move, seconded by Raf. All in favour? Against? That's carried. So that brings us to the end of the resolutions and in fact the end of this annual plan process. I'm particularly pleased that we've managed to get this completed this afternoon. I think it's fair to say that there's been some good debate around a number of issues, but I'd particularly like to echo the comments of the Mayor at the beginning of the meeting and thank staff and elected members, in fact, for all of the work that has been put into this process. It's run smoothly. There's been a huge amount of work. There have been a large number of meetings, informal meetings, working through some of the items that were brought to the meeting for formal discussion today. But I'd like to acknowledge, the huge amount of work that's been done by staff, preparing the draft annual plan, going through the consultation process and dealing with submissions, answering the large number of questions that were asked by councillors so that we had the information to inform good and sensible debate today. And that's work that's gone on over a number of weeks. And I know people have worked long hours and weekends to make sure that we've had the information that we needed to get to the good result that we have. So thank you very much indeed to staff. So we now have an annual plan. I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, there you go.